And tonight we're going to have informs for District 3, 4, and 5. Moderator will be Wallace Red, who currently serves on the City Council and the County Commission. He was first elected to the City Council in 1997. If you would, turn your cell phones off, or they won't interrupt the meeting. And I will now turn the program over to Wallace Red.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tonight we've got Ward 3, 4, and 5 coming up. And at our last meeting we had Judge Smith come and talk about his race. So tonight we've also included on our program Sam Knowlton as a candidate for judge. At this time he's going to have 5 minutes or so to come up, and if you got a few questions to ask him, just Helga will write them down.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
My name is Sam Knowlton. I'm running for city judge. Charles Smith has been the city judge for 15 years, and I'll tell you right now, he's a great guy. I like him. It's just a process that we go through. He's got the position that I want. I started posturing myself for this position in 1995. Was a police officer in this city since 1982. Retired in 2009 after going to law school at night. Went to work at the U.S. Attorney's Office as a special prosecutor for guns and gang prosecution, and worked with John Carney in the office down here, and then supervised the general sessions for 3 years there before retiring and going into private practice. Some of the things that I use as talking points are, when Charles was elected, this court met 5 days a week. We've gone backwards. We now meet 4 days a week. I'll bring it back to 5 days a week. There are 3,000 tickets that go through that court, or through the clerk's office, every month, with 300 plus officers that are writing tickets. We've only got about 5 people that are working on that, and that does not include when we have these specials. For instance, about 2 weeks ago, we had a special, and on one night there were 278 citations for arrests that were made. So that's in addition to the normal 3,000 that goes through there. I want to bring technology to the courtroom. It's there. The officers are writing tickets on cell phones now. However, we're still having to print those off, take them into the courtroom for the judge to make his notes on. The clerks take them back over to the clerk's office and then input those in the computer. I think we can do that. We got a city computer system right there in the courtroom. I know we can do it because the city put together a program for the district attorney to be able to look at the DUI videos and the in-car cameras when we went to court, so that we wouldn't have to have them bringing stuff over every day. So it can be done. And those are some of the things that I'd like to do. Again, bring court back to 5 days a week instead of the 4 that it's there. I'd like to move court over, if not in the courthouse, somewhere close there. This is the prime time to strike. They're redoing the 3rd floor right now, 3rd floor in the courts complex. They're putting a new courtroom in there for the new judge that was just elected. If the city's going to do that, now's the time to try and do it. There's no real additional cost. We could even do it on the 2nd floor. The building opens at 7:30, so the security for the building is already in place. None of the courtrooms open until 9 o'clock. So if court meets at 8 o'clock, we could use one of their courtrooms. Of course, we'd have to get the county commission and the city to agree on allowing that to happen for whatever the circumstances would be in that, the cost. But the city supplies a court officer by ordinance. They have to supply a lieutenant or higher to be the bailiff in the courtroom. So that's the only thing, and it would put the officers in one location rather than 3 blocks away, having to be in court there at 8 o'clock, rush over, be in court at 9 o'clock, and quite honestly, during the 2 weeks that we have circuit court or trial court going on, they have to be in that court at 8:30. So they have to be back over in that building by 8:30 for the call for the jury. So those are some of the things that I'd like to do. I assure you I have the experience. City court is the smallest court we have in this jurisdiction. It hears basically traffic tickets and building and codes violations. $50 fine is the maximum it has. I will not give someone who has a dog at large traffic court. Okay, as has been done in the past. What does traffic court do for somebody that has a dog at large? Nothing other than it gives the judge an out to be able to dismiss the ticket later on. That's not a good use of our traffic court with as many traffic offenses as we have. So those are some of the things that I would like to do, and that's why I'm running for this office. He's been there, like I said, 15 years. He's running for his 5th term. Starting in January, that will be a term limit position. There'll be 3-term limit. But he now will be able to run for those 3 terms if he chooses to. I have a small practice here in town. Haven't been in practice long enough in private practice to get it built up, specifically because when I left the DA's office, this is what I wanted to do, and everybody knew that. So I've let folks know for the last 3 years this is what my intentions were, and so I'm doing it. And so after November the 8th, if need be, I'll start building that practice up. I hope I don't need to, that I can do that, and I promise you that I will be fair and impartial on the bench. I'll be consistent, and I'll make the state prove their case, and I'll allow the public to be able to prove their case, and that's all you can really ask for. I'll stand for questions. Yes,
You said that Judge Smith, his term limits is just starting on this term?
that's correct.
He wasn't under the old term limits like the mayor and the city
There is
council?
no term limits on that position until the new charter was passed in 2015.
Oh,
So
okay.
it
I
will
thought
start-
maybe he was under the old one.
No, sir.
Okay.
That's why, quite honestly, one of his talking points is, and I've heard him talk several times, and I'm not going to talk bad about him, but he has, his thing is, I have education and experience. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have 1 city judge, and we've had 3 city judges in 56 years. Nobody else has experience except Larry Watson, and he don't want it back. I've talked to him. Collier Good had it before Larry Watson, who had it for 20 years. Smith's had it for 15, 16 years now. And Collier Good had it before that for as long as anybody can remember. So, the only 3 positions we've had, only 3 we've had. Anything else? Well, I thank you, and I ask you for your vote on November the 8th, Sam Knowlton for City Judge. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sam. I failed to mention too that thank Mike Warner for filming. He films our forums and everything and puts them on YouTube. He says if you go to YouTube and you put on there Clarksville Right Way Forum, it will, you can look at the forum, and Mike is running for state representative.
Hi, I'm Mike Warner. I'm running for District 67, Tennessee House. This is my 3rd shot at it. First time I was a write-in candidate. In 2014 I was on the ballot and got 30% of the vote, so I'm gaining on it. Okay? Nothing personally with my opponent, but he's part of the system, and the system is really what's wrong. We've got this past year in Montgomery County was the first county to take the driver's licenses of 8% of its population. 14,223 people take their driver's license away for failure to pay court costs. That included $69 a day if they happen to be incarcerated in Montgomery County. One fella got in trouble. He stole an item for less than $500 value in Walmart, and at the end of his term, incarcerated, he owed $24,000. Until he pays it back, he can't get his driver's license back. There's single mothers in the same position that have lost their driver's license and can't get it back. They can't take their kids where they need to get help. They can't take them to school. They can't go to work. This is not justice. Justice needs to be tempered with mercy, and we need laws that reflect that we're a just and merciful people, and I think we are. I could talk about a lot of other things that I'm pretty passionate about. I am the only candidate that's your pro-gun candidate. If you want to see open carry, If you want to see constitutional carry, you need more people like me and less people like my opponent. But most people here know me anyway, so I won't go on too long. Thank you very much. Vote for Mike Warner. Also, if you go to electmikewarner.com, I would surely appreciate some donations for radio time. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mike. Now we're going to have Ward 3, then we will have after that Ward 4, and then Ward 5. James Lewis is a candidate for City Council in Ward 3, but he heads the parent-teacher conference, and therefore he said he would not be able to make it tonight. And I contacted Ernie Brockman, and he said that he thought that he was supposed to, that the letter that we sent out said that he was supposed to be here at 7. I don't know if I may have inadvertently, because I had to send out so many letters, one of them may have been wrong with the time on there. I don't know, but he said that he's on his way. So if there's no objection, we'll just give it another 5 minutes or so and see if he shows up at that time, and then we'll start then. Is that okay with you, Mr. Chairman? Okay, so we'll just take a break for about 5 minutes then.